After much ado, Marvel's She-Hulk is ready to join the pantheon of Marvel Cinematic Universe TV. After Disney Plus UK accidentally leaked the series release date earlier this week, fans of Jennifer Walters and her lawyerly shenanigans now have a fresh new trailer to dig into. There's a lot to be excited about here, but as plenty of folks have already pointed out, the VFX look pretty rough.
Yes! No!
Don't worry about that too much though. This wouldn't be the first early trailer to release before Final Cut.
Gotta go fast.
A little ball of super energy?
She's got great friends, she's got a great job, and she's got no interest in being a superhero.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans.
Jennifer Walters is a superhuman attorney, but all she's looking for is life as an anonymous lawyer. Unfortunately, she's related to Bruce Banner, so things were never really going to turn out that way for her. It's also worth mentioning that Jennifer's apparent desire for anonymity is a departure from modern comics. In Marvel canon, the character is known to represent plenty of high-profile clients. We don't get a chance to dive into it too much in the trailer itself, but despite her apparent apathy towards heroism, Jen shares Bruce's empathy and kindness. But she's infinitely more funny and way more laid back than the mild-mannered scientist.
For years, I've been treating the Hulk like he's some kind of disease, something to get rid of. But then I start looking at him as the cure.
We see more than one familiar face here, but let's start with the obvious. The one and only Bruce Banner will play a prominent role in the series as Jennifer Walters' cousin and plays a key role in her training. The other major returning player seen in the trailer is Abomination, who we get several glimpses of throughout the trailer in both human and giant cranky man-monster forms. We'll also see Wong's return as a Sorcerer Supreme, but if he's in the trailer, he's hiding real well.
But you wanted more?
Abomination isn't the only villain coming to play. Titania will act as a foil to Jennifer She-Hulk, but we're not yet sure if she'll be the straight villain she was in her early days of the comics, or if she'll be more of the modern anti-hero she grew into over the years. You get a teeny tiny peek of her in the trailer. And yes, that was Frogman that you caught a glimpse of. Our beloved oaf with a heart of gold has already made it into the hearts of fans across social media.
Is there anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
As you may have noticed, She-Hulk has a much more pleasant disposition than her cousin's Hulk. Or at least that Hulk in his early days. This trailer makes it pretty clear that we're joining Jennifer at the beginning of her journey as She-Hulk, but there's a reason she's a hair more calm than Bruce was in his smashy days. Because she comes by her powers by way of blood transfusion rather than a blast of gamma radiation, Jennifer has always had more control than Bruce, and even opts to stay in her Hulk form most of the time. In the comics, anyway. We'll see if that's how it plays out in this show, too. Make no mistake, though, she will still hurl a car when prompted.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
While the Disney Plus series is billed as a comedy, this trailer really downplays the humor that should be the key player in making She-Hulk Attorney at Law shine. The comics leaned heavily on Jessica's snark and humor, along with a proclivity to break the fourth wall that was introduced by John Byrne in the late 80s. If the overall tone of this trailer is to be believed, there may be a chance that they're leaving the fourth wall breaking to Deadpool and his impending MCU introduction. But maybe they'll sneak in a couple nods here and there, and hopefully they'll remember that humor is one of She-Hulk's most important superpowers.
Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Speaking of powers, Jennifer Walters' She-Hulk power set basically mirrors that of Bruce Banner's Hulk. One key difference in the early days of her comic history is power level. While the Hulk gets stronger the more you take him off, She-Hulk's super strength stays about the same no matter how angry she gets. That started to change as we got further into the character's canon, but we're not sure yet where the Disney Plus series will land on her abilities. She-Hulk's strength is also tied to that of Jennifer Walters, meaning the more she works out in her human form, the stronger she gets in her Hulk version. Talk about gains. While we've already discussed that Jennifer is better at keeping her composure in Hulk form than her cousin was in his earlier days, it's worth noting that turning into She-Hulk has been known to up her confidence too. I don't know about you, but I'd feel pretty confident too if I could punch down a building. Oh, and she's capable of accidentally creating a huge gamma explosion on accident. No big deal. And that's all you need to know for the new trailer for She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Did we miss any Easter eggs? Let us know in the comments. And for all your superhero needs, make sure you like and subscribe to IGN wherever you watch.